I think we have misunderstood what it means to be a good communicator. We are told it's about confidence, speaking clearly, standing tall, having the perfect words, maybe even having a little bit of charisma. I've spent the last decade speaking in boardrooms, conferences, and international forums. And somewhere along the way, I've realized something uncomfortable. The people who hold a room the longest are almost never the people trying the hardest to impress it. That doesn't make sense, does it? Well, it didn't to me. A few weeks ago, after finishing a talk, a couple of people waited until everyone else had left the room, and one of them came up to me and asked a question that I've been thinking about ever since. How do you stand out in a room full of 100 people? I smiled, not because I had a brilliant answer, because I genuinely didn't, at least not consciously. So on my way back home, instead of opening my laptop, I replayed the entire session in my head. Not the slides, not the stories, the people. The people who laughed, who leaned forward, who nodded, who suddenly looked up from their phones. And somewhere along the drive back, I realized I've been asking myself the wrong question for years. The question isn't how do I get people to listen to me? The real question is what makes another human being want to listen to me? And those are two completely different questions. The first one is about performance. The second one is about people. And I think we've confused the two. One of the biggest misconceptions about communication is that attention is something the speakers create. I don't think it is. I think attention is something audiences give voluntarily. You can't force it. You can only earn it. Think about the last conversation that you truly enjoyed. I doubt it was because the other person had the perfect posture or spoke with dramatic pauses or used impressive vocabulary. You probably left that conversation thinking something much simpler. I liked talking to them, not because they were fascinating, but because they made you feel interesting. And I think that is one of the most underrated skills in the world of communication. Making someone feel that they matter, not in a dramatic way, in small ways, by noticing, by listening, by asking one more question than most people would. Years ago, I used to walk onto a stage thinking, how do I make a good impression? Now, I walk onto a stage asking something completely different. Who is sitting in front of me today? It's a tiny change, isn't it? But it changes everything because curiosity quietly replaces ego, and curiosity is very difficult to feel. People know when you're waiting for your turn to speak. They also know when you're genuinely trying to understand them. There was another lesson that I learned much later. For years, I thought confidence was the thing that audience admired the most. Now, I am not so sure. I think what I admire isn't just confidence. It is calm. Confidence often tries to prove itself. Calm doesn't need to. Some of the most compelling people I have ever met spoke softly, paused often, admitted when they didn't know something, changed their minds, asked thoughtful questions. And none of that looks particularly impressive until you realize that the room has gone completely silent. We have somehow confused volume with certainty. They're not the same thing. The loudest voice isn't usually the one that people remember. The clearest one is. There's a habit that I almost developed by accident. When I first started speaking professionally, someone told me to make eye contact with everyone. So I tried. I looked everywhere, which meant I wasn't really looking anywhere. Today, I do something much simpler. I finish one complete thought while looking at someone. Not because it's a technique, but because that's how genuine, natural conversations work. And maybe that's another thing we've forgotten. A presentation isn't the opposite of conversation. It is simply a conversation where one person happens to be speaking more. The biggest shift, though, happened away from the stage. It happened in everyday conversations. I stopped trying to sound intelligent and I started trying to sound real, understood. Those sound similar, but they're really not. When we are trying to sound intelligent, we often reach for complexity. Bigger words, longer explanations, more impressive ideas. But the people I admire the most have the opposite habit. They make a complicated thing feel obvious. Not because their ideas are simple, but because they've understood them deeply enough to explain them simply. Now, whenever I'm explaining something to someone, I ask myself one question. Where does this already exist in someone else's life? And if I can answer that, then people really struggle to understand the idea. Because then the idea is no longer mine, it's theirs. There's something else that I've been thinking about recently. After all these years of public speaking, I still get nervous. That part has never disappeared. Sometimes I'm standing backstage wondering whether anyone will care about what I have to say. Sometimes I wonder whether today is the day I will completely lose the room. And maybe that feeling is never going to go away. But my relationship with that feeling has changed because I think it's no longer my job to impress an audience. I think my job is to help them leave with one idea that they probably didn't have before they walked in. And that's just one idea because people rarely remember full talks. They remember one sentence, one story, one feeling, one moment when they quietly thought, I've never looked at it this way before. And maybe that's what communication has always been about. It's not about convincing people, it is about helping them see things differently. So the next time you're about to walk into a meeting, give a presentation, sit down for an interview, or have a difficult conversation, don't ask yourself, how do I make them listen? Ask yourself, how do I make them feel understood? Because people don't listen to us because we speak well. They listen because somehow we have made them feel seen. Well, this is what I have been doing in my years as a public speaker, and perhaps that is what made me stand out. You can try these out too and let me know if they work for you. Or if you do something that works for you, feel free to share in the comments. I'm Shweta and I'm mostly curious about why human beings connect the way they do. If you're curious too, I would love to have you here. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.